Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, I would like to show you how to add your own pictures using the camera from the computer into Google Drawing. So I'm already in Google Drawing, so the first thing I'm going to do is come up to Untitled Drawing right here. Let me click this out for a second. I'm going to click up here, Untitled Drawing, and I'm going to type in Lesson 3. And I'm going to add drawing or drawings just so I have an idea of what this is about. We're going to add 3. So 3 represents lesson 3 and 3 drawings. Then I'm going to file and I'm going to make sure that I move this to my Google folder in Google Drive. If you don't know how to do that, please see lesson 1 that shows you how to do this. Go down to where it says move, click on this. And then you're going to look for your folder. Mine is green, so I'm looking for a green one right here. And it says Google Drawing Art folder. And so I'm going to click on this and I'm going to move this picture. And up here, it shows me that it's been moved to my Google Drawing Art folder. So I'm going to dismiss that and I'm ready to get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is, or if you want to add your rulers, all you need to do is go to view and then you're going to make sure there's a check mark out by show ruler. So click on this if you don't see the check mark. And then I'm going to change my canvas size. The canvas is this checkerboard pattern right here. I'm going to grab from the lower right-hand corner and I'm going to bring it into 9x7. By the way, if you were to add this into a Google document or something like that, you can still change the size of it. But I like to keep it about 9x7 in Google Drawing. So I have my shape here, and now I'm going to change the color of my background. So using 2 fingers at once, click down on your launch pad or your mouse. And when you do so, this little dialog box pops up. I'm finding background and I'm going to gradient and I'm going to choose like a deep blue here. And I think I want the linear one instead of a radial design. So there is my background for my drawings. Several of my drawings have an ocean theme in it, so that's why I chose blue. So now we're ready to add drawings that we've already created. So the first thing I'm going to do is go up to insert or go to the insert image icon right here. So if I go to insert images right here and I can come down here to find the camera, or I can click on insert image right here. If you do not see this information here, it may be that this is turned downward. So you want to make sure this is turned upward so you can see everything. This is a toggle, so I turned it upward, and now I'm ready to add pictures. So I'm going to insert, I'm going down to camera, and I also have a little bit of a background so I can hold up my artwork a little bit more easily. So the first drawing I'm going to hold up is one of a dolphin, and I'm looking for a little place that I can hold on to with my hands. This one might be a little bit more tricky. So I'm going to see if I can hold on to this. I want to center it the best that I can. And I might have to kind of stick my fingers up here, I think. I could tape it down too, so that would be a little bit more easily too. And then I want to try to make it as even as possible and get it as close to the screen as possible. This takes a little practice to get used to it. And then I'm going to take a picture with the shutter button, which is the yellow button at the bottom there. I'm clicking again, and maybe I'll click one more time and see which one turned out the best. This one at the bottom is more straight, so I'm going to click on this one, and now I'm going to click insert, and I've added my first drawing. Now I'm going to my second drawing. I'm going to hold it up, and I'm going to repeat that process with 2 more pictures. So I'm going to insert image, going down to camera, and I can see the picture again. I'm going to do my best to make this close enough so I can get a decent picture of it. Sometimes you have to play around with it to see if it's a little bit more blurry or not. And this isn't going to be the highest quality, but at least you can show your work this way. So I got 1 picture there, 2, and 3. The picture I like the best is the one at the top. So I'm going to click on that one, click insert. And now I'm ready to add my third drawing. So my third drawing is, I'm looking for it. I found it. Okay, it's right here. So I have my third drawing, and I'm going to hold this one up, and I'm going to image, go to camera, Oops, and I'm starting to lose it a little bit, so I need to hold on to this a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to see if I can kind of center that a little bit. The picture's not quite centered on here, so if I had a clipboard or something, that might actually work better for this. But since I do not have one right now, I'm going to use it this way. So, okay, I got this. So I'm going to hold up my picture and look for where the best quality is. Okay, maybe right there. I'm clicking the shutter button again, and one more time. And the one I like the best is the one in the middle. So I'm clicking on that one. It's highlighted in blue. And now I'm going to click insert. Yay, that part's done. Okay, so the next part is cropping our images. So I'm going to click on the tortoise down here, and I double clicked on it. So that way I bring the cropping tool up here. And I'm going to crop out my hand and anything around it so I have a better drawing here. So I'm going to do this. And I have a little bit of a casting shadow from my hand, so I'm going to bring this down a little bit more. Maybe I'll bring this up a little bit. It's a little crumply. So, and then I'm going to click that. So I have that selected. Now at this time, if I want, I could add a border. So I still have my picture selected. If I don't have it selected, I can't do this. So I want to make sure it's selected. And then I'm coming up to where there's the pencil line. This is the border color. I'm going to choose black. And then right next to the border color is the border weight. So I'm going to click on these horizontal lines right here and come down to 4 pixels. PX stands for pixels. So I have that one finished. Now I'm going up to the top one here. I want to see if I can bring this down. Okay, I'm going to cut off part of my drawing here, but if I had a clipboard, I could always come back and redo this one again later. So I think I'm going to keep it about like so. And there's this one. I'm going to add a border color and change the weight to 4 pixels. And then I'm coming over to my last drawing. I'm going to double click on it to bring up the cropping tool. This one's being a little bit finicky. Finally, it came up. So just kind of play around with it if it doesn't work right away. I'm going to bring this in like so. Oops. And if you accidentally move your picture, just undo that part and then you can start over again from the step before. So there I have that. My fingers are showing up a little bit at the top, so I want to crop that out a little bit more. So I'll come down to about right here. And now I'm going to add a border color and change the weight to 4 pixels again. So now I have my pictures done. So the next step is to see if we can make these a little bit more brighter. And I'll have to see, right now it's saying creating images, so I'll have to see if this is going to allow me to do this right away, but I'm going to select one picture. And when I notice how if I don't select one picture, I have less up here in this area. And if you can't see this right here, make sure you turn on your toggle. So that's down, this is up. So you want to make sure this arrow's turned upward so you can see more. I'm going to click on a picture and now format options pops up. So I'm going to click on format options if it'll let me. It's kind of that little image right there is kind of in the way. So I'm coming down to adjustments. So I want to turn this downward. So now this little arrow is going downward. And if I need to make it a little bit brighter, I can. But before I make it brighter, I'm going to play with the contrast a little bit and see if I can just get it to pop out just a little bit more. And if you go all the way to this side, you can see that's way too much. If I go all the way to this side, it completely disappears. So it's always nice to go back and forth just to see what this does. And I normally would kind of stay away from much more than plus 30, but every once in a while I'll go over that. So I'm just going to take this down just a tad bit more. And then if I need to, I can play around with the lightness. Now, I want to keep all my values there. So I'm going to so I'm probably going to keep it about right there. Then I'm going to click on another picture and do the same with it. And I want to see if I can get them to be about the same brightness. So I see that I need to brighten this one up a little bit. Maybe I'll bring this over a little bit. And now these two match a little bit better. So now I'm going to click on the tortoise. And I'm doing the same thing with these two and see if I can get the lighting more even. But I also don't want to lose my details. So it's kind of a little balance act between all three of these. Okay, so now I have this done. So maybe I want to include my name over the side, and maybe this is about a gallery showing or something. So I'm going to hold down my shift button so I do not change my proportions. I see that I have a little bit of my paper showing down here too. So I'm going to double click on this one more time, and I'm going to bring this up a little bit on the bottom. See if I can clean that up a little bit right there. There we go. Okay, so now I'm holding down the shift button and I'm going to pull on one corner, and I'm going to see if I can kind of balance these out. Now let's say that you want to have these look like there's three pictures right here, and then you want to add your name over here. Another thing that you can add to make sure that this is all balanced up here is you can use guidelines. So to find guidelines, you want to go to View, and then you're going to, or at least I thought you went to View. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Okay, yes. You go to Guides and then go to Show Guides. And now I can move these over. And let's say that I want to have like a 1/2 inch on this side. Maybe I want to bring this one up and have a 1/2 inch up here. And then all I have to do is go up to where the ruler is, and I can click and drag down another one. I'm going to make sure this is like a 1/2 inch at the bottom right here. And then I'm going to pull another one over from the left side and match that up to 1/2 inch over here. So now I have an idea of where everything's going to fit. So I'm going to move this picture up to my guidelines right there. And I'm going to hold down the shift button, make it a little bit larger. Maybe I want to I'm going to kind of center these right now. Maybe I want to add another guideline, but I'm going to pull this one over here, hold down the shift button, pull this one out, and I'm going to see if I can kind of make them about the same width. If you saw that red line at the bottom, that lets you know that it's lining up with the other one. So that's why I didn't add a border there. So I have this one here. This one was a little bit too tall though, so I am going to make that a little bit smaller right there and keep it like that. And now it's time to do the last one. So I'm going to move this over. And I see that I need to move this one over a little, just a tad bit too. It's a little finicky. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to pull out this one. And so now I have these three pictures. Another thing that you might want to do is leave more space at the bottom. So as for some people, that's more visually pleasing. So I'm going to move this up to 1 inch since all my pictures fit horizontally right here. And it just depends on the pictures you're using and how you want it to look. But I'm going to keep it about right there. And I'll click back. I like that so far. Okay, so now these guidelines won't show up, but I'm just going to move them out of the way anyway. And then the last step is going to word art and adding our names. If you want to have fun and add a little casting shadow, you can too, but I'm going to keep it like this for this assignment. So to create word art, you want to go to Insert, and then you're going, instead of going to Image, you're going down to Word Art right here, type in your name, and I think I want to capitalize that, so I'm going back to capitalize it. Then I'm just going to click on the canvas itself, and then I can add my name over here. And you probably don't want your name to stand out too much more than your pictures because you want everybody to focus on your pictures. So I'm just going to have a little fun with this and kind of see what I like the best. I'm going to match it up on the side there. And I don't know if I want to center it here, but you can kind of play around if you want to match it up at the bottom here. I think I like it centered better. So I'm going to center it like so. And I can also play around with the colors. So I think I will go up here to my fill color, and maybe I'll go to gradient and I'll choose like this lighter blue right here. And I kind of like that. and I can keep it highlighted in black, or I can turn off the black by clicking on the pencil line and choosing transparent. And if I click on that, that looks pretty good for this assignment. You might want to play around with the drop shadow. To do so, all you do is select your name right here. Make sure that you have format options open, or go up here to find it. And then I'm going to click on drop shadow, so the arrow is pointing downward. I'm going to use black right here. I could change this to a darker blue or something. Maybe I'll go with a navy blue right there. And then I'm going to play around with the distance right here just a tad bit, and a little bit of the angle and stuff. And if I click on that, then I have a finished picture and I can send it in. So one last thing, just make sure that you save this to your Google folder in Google Drive. Go to File, go down to Move, and when I look in here, I can see that I have my drawing. It says Lesson 3, and I'm ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I look forward to seeing you soon. Until next time, bye.